What lesson from Barney Fife can improve your real estate business? Hi, I'm Joe Mangum, trainer, author, but more importantly, your real estate coach, and that's the topic of this edition of Sell to Serve. This wonderful Mayberry character had a saying, nip it in the bud. Do you remember? That saying applies to real estate. So working with buyers and sellers, there's often the same type of objections that we hear. Things like, hey, isn't the Zestimate right? Or shouldn't our tax value be the same as our market value? Or my personal favorite, hey, can we go look at all these houses that have absolutely nothing to do with what we said that we wanted? Yikes. So instead of waiting for the objection, go ahead and be preventative or nip it in the bud. And that way you can continue building trust with your client instead of having to have the challenge of overcoming an objection. So what do I mean? Well, what I mean, let's take the example of, can we talk about price first? That is a common objection when you're at a listing presentation. So if you believe that you may get that objection, and you may believe it every single time you sit down for a listing presentation, you may want to say up front something like this. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I have a system that I think works really well. That system has 3 categories of information. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about your needs. I need to really understand them to ensure that I'm the right person to help you. Next, we're going to talk about specifically what I do to get to the most net into your pocket. And last, we're going to talk about what the market is saying about your house. Now, many people will say to me, hey, can't we talk about that first? And I certainly understand that, because I would be one of those people as well. But the asking price decision is likely the most important decision that you're going to make in this entire process. And so to ensure that you have the information to make the most profitable decision for yourself, I have sequenced the information this way. Does that make sense? So by saying those, I've already settled them back in. I've told them how I'm going to chop up this information, when I'm going to talk about it, and it generally settles people in, and they go, okay, they don't have to have the objection. You have already overcome it. So this is what I think the best action for you is. Think back on the objections that you have regularly, or even not so regularly, and go ahead and look at when you might go ahead and put some language in to stop it and prevent it. And that way you won't even have to have any objections. You can go ahead and take care of them one by one and nip it in the bud. So if you like our video blog, please make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter, reach out on LinkedIn, and like our Facebook page. And please always remember, it is the learners who are the earners.